What a debut 100 there for Nitish Reddy, and plus his celebration, full pushpa style, was on display at the MCG. Sunil Gavaskar also joins us live. Sunil, before this test match, there were many who had doubts over whether Nitish can fit into this team. I mean, he had done nothing wrong so far, but looking at the balance, many thought that you could have gone with a specialist rather than an all-rounder in Nitish Reddy. Now, going forward in the next few test matches, for sure, there will be no doubt he makes your test 11.
Yes, definitely. I think the way he's batted, the way the young man has batted, he has sealed a place for himself in the Indian test team for a long, long time, for the simple reason that even if the matches are in India and you're going to play two seamers and a third seamer, he can play the role of a third seamer and bat up the order at number 6 or 7. And so clearly, I think he's somebody who has earned a place, with his century, has earned a place for the next quite a number of matches playing for India.
His position now almost certain in the 11, at least for the next few months or so, depending on how he continues to perform from here. The other thing, Sahibai, batting at number 8 with a man who's got 100 in this style, clearly needs to be batting a couple of notches higher.
Yes, he'll definitely go up the order, no question about it, because now he deserves to go up the order. He's batted like a top order batter, so he's got to bat up the order. And those who are batting like a lower order batter deserve to go down the order.
Sahibai, must be, I'm just trying to think, how is it that Pat Cummins would have looked at this 100? Must have been bittersweet for him, because here's a captain who actually encouraged Nitish Reddy to bat higher up. He's batting at number 4 for Sunrisers Hyderabad when Cummins was the captain, and that's where he really, burst onto the big stage first time because of Cummins pushing him there. And then now he gets this 100 against his Australian team. Must be bittersweet for Pat Cummins today.
It can be, yes. I think when you're the captain of a franchise and a player from the franchise plays such a wonderful innings against your own country's team, it'll be a bittersweet feeling. But in his heart of hearts, I think he will understand. He'll feel a sense of satisfaction that he was able to recognize the talent in Nitish Kumar Reddy and send him up the order where he could fulfill his potential.
Now, going forward, Sunny I mean, he's still a youngster, just, getting used to the grinds of Test cricket. What do you think the future holds for him? What does he need to do to become a finished product? What are the areas you think he can work on to be a complete product?
Basically, I think as far as his bowling is concerned, I think it's a work in progress. And the more he bowls at the highest level or even at the first class level, the more tricks he will develop in terms of, bowling, learning to bowl on different pitches where the ball will do something different. So, yes, I think that's a work in progress. As far as his batting is concerned, there's not much needed. He's got a very sound defense. He moves forward and back with great ease. So not much is required to be done. There was one attempt to play the reverse scoop when after he got hit on the forearm, and maybe the pain made him play that way. But I think those kind of shots are not really required at the test level unless the requirement of the team is to score quick runs and in an unorthodox way. Otherwise, you play orthodox shots and you will get the runs as you showed today.
All right, Sahibai, that was some great analysis about Nitish Reddy's knock today. Now, of course, Sahibai, none of this would have been possible if he did not find the perfect foil in Washington Sundar. A word on Washington's innings, never looked hurried at all in his stay on the crease?
Washington Sundar, we know that he can bat. He's already got 2 90s for India and another half century. So we all know that he can bat. And it was, batting with him. Nitish Kumar Reddy got the confidence. So the moment he saw that Washington Sundar was looking secure, looking sound, looking solid in defense as well, that's when he also decided to play, his natural game, orthodox shots. By all means, play the lofted shot, but playing with the straighter bat, there is more success of playing and getting the shots. That's what he did.
Okay, now, Saibhai, I'm just going to talk about this game and where it stands at the moment. If you take a look at the pitch, doesn't seem to be offering much to the bowlers. Do you think then India has done enough, considering the first innings aren't over as yet and only 2 days to go? India have done enough to eke out a draw, or do you think, no, there's still some hard work for India to do, considering they're still trailing by 100?
Oh, there's a lot of hard work to do because, I think they will have to bat at least 3 sessions, if not 3.5, 4 sessions. That is what they'll need to do because what Nitish Reddy and Washington Sundar with their century plus partnership did was whittle down the lead of Australia. Otherwise, Australia could have had about a lead of 220, 230 maybe, and that would have made it easy for them to bat in the second innings and set India a target. Now, no Australian team is going to set India a target of anything under 400, knowing the capability of this batting lineup, the explosiveness of this batting lineup. They know that. And therefore, by whittling down the lead, what Reddy and Washington Sundar have done is that they have given a headache to Pat Cummins. Even if a wicket falls early tomorrow, with a lead of 110 or thereabouts, they will want to score at least another 300 runs, maybe 325, 30 runs, so that they set India about 400 plus 430, 420, 430 runs to win and give themselves about 3.5 sessions, maybe 4 sessions to bowl India out in the second innings. So the match is not over. And India will have to, when they bowl, be canny about how they have their fielders, how the field placing should be. Now, you know that Constas is one of those guys who's going to try the reverse scoop and the scoop. So you must, from the beginning, if you have conceded a lead of 100 plus, must from the beginning have fielders. So to try and see if he'll go for the shot. If he goes for the shot and gets out, then that'll be a big plus for India. And so I think field placing is going to be more important than the bowling. And India will then have to bat out on the final day. The forecast seems to be pretty good for the next 2 days, so India will have to bat out very well on the final day to ensure that it is a draw, so that they can go to Sydney where they can regroup and look to win the game, and with it the trophy.
Talking about the pitch, Sanibhai, and how well it's been playing for the batters, we heard Jasprit Bumrah earlier in the day in an interview said that he went up to Pat Cummins and said that looks like you've rolled a pitch which is like a Christmas gift to the batters. Keeping that pitch in mind, all the other Indian top order batters, a lot of them under scrutiny, would now be cursing themselves that they did not make the best use of conditions like this, because you haven't got conditions like this so far in this series. Would have been a perfect opportunity, and especially looking at Nitish Reddy get runs, that they could have gotten some runs under their belt.
Yes, definitely, because this has really been a very good pitch to bat on. Today probably was the best to bat on because there was hardly any grass left on the surface. If you saw the color of the pitch on day 1 and the color of the pitch today, day 3, you would have seen a vast difference. Color of the pitch on day 1 was green. On day 2 was a little bit green. Today it was almost beige, brown. So it just tells you that, the grass is burnt out. The grass also gets shaved off every morning. That's mandatory according to the playing conditions. So the pitch has become a lot better to bat on. The pitch has become a lot flatter. There will be the odd ball which will bounce awkwardly, as we saw when Nitish Reddy was struck on the arm. That can happen with somebody as tall as Scott Boland. But by and large, I think this pitch will be very, very good to bat on, even on the last 2 days.
Right. Saibhai, I go back to that result question that I asked you, where the match stands. Would it be fair to say greater pressure on Australia now to push for a result, considering that for them to win Border Gavaskar series, they clearly need to win the series. A drawn series wouldn't do much. Weather forecast not very great for Sydney as well. Also going to be a good batting pitch where Indian batters could once again score a lot of runs. So in the context of the series, a lot of pressure on Australia to win this particular test match?
It will come with added pressure, and that's the reason it'll be interesting to see how they go about it when it's their turn to bat. because look, this pitch is very good to bat on, but the Indian batting has been, apart from a couple of players, has not been very convincing, has it been? When you look at who's batted and who scored runs, that India needs to do a lot more in the second innings. They can't take a draw for granted. They'll have to apply themselves. They'll have to bat in a manner that, in case they set up a big target, even 375 or 400, if they're set to get, they have to make sure that they bat sensibly. 375 in 3 sessions is gettable, no question about it. But for that you need a start which is very good. Start where you haven't lost the first 2 wickets, maybe till 150, 200. That'll give you a chance to win the game, not just draw the game.
Right, and finally, Saibhai, before we let you go, you weren't very pleased, I heard you on commentary, about Rishabh Pant playing that particular shot. Now there have been a few hours for you to look back. Still, feeling the same, still feel that shot wasn't on at that time. And there is a very thin line between saying that's your natural game and being foolhardy.
Very thin line, always has been. I've always said there's a very thin line between carefree and careless. That is exactly what we saw today. Because, the previous ball, he tried to play the shot. Now, there were 2 fielders there. And with 2 fielders on big, long Australian boundaries, you're taking a chance. Yes, if you connect it well, it'll go for a 6, and all of us will get up and applaud and say, fantastic shot. But when the shot doesn't come off, all of us, not all of us, but some of us who feel very strongly about Indian cricket will feel upset and will, want to express ourselves. That's exactly what happened. I know that Rishabh Pant, people say that's his natural game. Fair enough, it's his natural game. But the way he's been playing throughout this series, it looks as if he thinks that that's the only way he's going to score runs. That he doesn't believe that he can score runs in the orthodox manner, playing the cover drive, playing the flick shot, that he only has to go down the pitch and then smash the ball, or he's got to play these, reverse scoop or scoops to score runs. That is not what we saw of Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant has got plenty of shots and plenty of shots with less risk than some of the shots that he's been attempting here in Australia and getting out to.
All right, Mr. Gavaskar, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for taking our time speaking to us here on India Today. End of day 3 of the Melbourne Test match. 2 more days still to go, but you could get any of the results. India, though a very slim chance, would be thinking, who knows, they could eke out a win here. Australia, of course, would be pushing for a win. But the most likely scenario at the moment does seem like a draw. So all possible results you could see at the Melbourne Test.